Well, 680's Richard Southern joins us now. Richard, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he's pulling America out of the Iran nuclear deal. That decision having a major impact on oil, but also Toronto gas prices.
Yeah, absolutely. And Trump, Francis, has long criticized this deal, which, by the way, involved lifting sanctions on Iran in exchange for the country pretty much doing away with its nuclear material. Trump had said the deal is far more beneficial to Iran than it is to the U.S. Here's Trump in the White House today.
The fact is, this was a horrible, one-sided deal that should have never, ever been made. It didn't bring calm, it didn't bring peace, and it never will.
So putting sanctions back in place on Iran could reduce the flow of Iranian oil onto the market and therefore could have oil prices heading higher. Texas tea, $69.82 per barrel tonight, close to an almost four-year high. And yes, the price of gas here in Toronto going up another penny at midnight tonight. That'll bring the average to $1.37.9, getting close to a record, about 30 cents more a liter than we were paying a year ago. Francis.
Well, WestJet is showing off what business class will look like on its brand new 787 jets. What does it look like?
Well, first of all, a new livery, too, as you can see on the outside. So they're going to take delivery of these new jets early next year. Inside in the business class cabin, their first business class cabin, looks almost exactly the same as what Air Canada is doing with these same sort of reverse herringbone seats, lie flat beds in business class, on-demand dining. There's also going to be a premium economy cabin. We're looking there at the strictly economy cabin. These new jets, which they'll take delivery of early next year, will allow WestJet to fly to Asia and to South America for the first time, Francis. No pricing information released. WestJet stock actually took a big hit today. It was down almost 10% as the company reported weaker than expected earnings. And the pilots union set to maybe walk off the job within the month. They have been without a contract now since last September.
Uber is showing off its flying car prototype. The company says it will have this off the ground literally very soon.
So they say. I want to show it to you. So there it is. There's, you know, Francis getting into his flying Uber maybe in the next 2 years. They say they're going to have this off the ground in 2018. The prototype looks more like a drone than a helicopter with 4 rotors on each wing. So the company says it's safe. They're going to roll this out in Dallas and Los Angeles in 2020 and then expand it to more cities. The planes would take off and land vertically from designated rooftops. As for the price, Uber says initially you'd pay the same as an Uber Black ride for the same distance.
Really?
And they will, yeah, so not that much. And they said they'll eventually reduce it to an Uber X type price once more people use it. So they say they're actually going full steam ahead with that, Francis. A flying Uber.
I need this to come to Mississauga. Because traffic is nuts.
You could sleep in, Francis. You could be in the newsroom in no time.
I'm sure there's enough room on this patio to land the Uber right here.
Just watch out for Adam Styles now. You
That's
wouldn't
right.
want to knock him over.
I'll be careful. I will be careful. So office attire has become a lot more casual over the years. I don't know if you're talking about me right now, but a new report finds that Canadian employees' dress at work might actually affect their chances of a promotion.
I think we look okay. I think we look okay, Francis. We don't look too bad. But Robert Half says, you know, 83% of workers and 78% of managers feel now the clothing affects the chance of being promoted. Canadian workers only spend 7 minutes on average choosing their office attire. Interestingly enough, though, it found that piercings, tattoos, jeans, and leggings are a lot more acceptable today than they were just 5 years ago. Don't have to worry about that so much. They do say watch out for flip-flops, for shorts, and for tank tops. They are much less acceptable. So it certainly, you know, matters what you wear. And as they always say, you got to dress for the job you want, not the job you have, Francis.
So, Richard, you can feel comfortable showing all your piercings and tattoos now.
Good. Better tune in tomorrow then. It'll be a business report to remember, Francis.
Oh, I'm sure it would be. No Frills is officially launching their own clothing line.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to wear this to work or not, but you can get a No Frills branded T-shirt now. They're rolling out what they call their Holler line, which they say, you know, means someone who gets something for less. So there's T-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts. This is part of a broader marketing campaign that also has the discount grocer rolling out kind of a music video. Kind of looks like a rap video. There is, burnouts in the parking lot, people walking on the ceilings in the no-frills. This is all part of a trend here by companies to create some limited edition clothing and create some buzz. A lot of competition in the Canadian grocery space. No-frills, of course, owned by Loblaws, Francis.
Well, we do know that not every product to hit store shelves is successful. There's a new book that's looking at some of the biggest product flops of all time.
Yeah, I want to show you some of them. You probably remember a lot of these. There's a lot of actually food-related ones, like New Coke back in 1985.
New Coke.
They tried to create a product that tasted like Pepsi, and they abandoned it within a month, so that was a big disaster. Late 80s, early 90s, Pepsi AM and Crystal Pepsi. Pepsi tried to make a cola for breakfast. Didn't go over very well. 1993, the Apple Newton, $700, didn't do a whole lot. Very much an example of Apple's bad early days. 1995, Nintendo Virtual Boy. They tried to get into VR with that big thing. Apparently, there wasn't much virtual reality about it. A big flop. 1996, McDonald's Arch Deluxe. They spent $100 million marketing this burger. Yeah, it didn't stay on the menu very long. Orbit Soda, you might remember this. Looked like a lava lamp. You could drink that. Flopped, but it's still popular online. There are some people that will sell you that online. What do we got? Wow chips. Remember Orlestra? They were.
Remember those.
So they were fat-free, and everyone loved it. Fat-free chips, but they had this chemical to make it fat-free called Orlestra. Nobody could digest it. Everyone was in the bathroom with stomach aches.
That's a problem.
Big flop.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Francis.
We'll see you tomorrow. Here's Amanda.